Hi, this is Shell of Shell's Creations, and today I want to show you a simple recoloring trick for some of the flatter items in a kit. The kit I'll be using today is called Out of This World, and you can find it by clicking on the link below. I'm going to begin with this nearly completed layout. The original layout was from one of my CT members, Jenny. I've recreated it here so that I can show you this trick. This particular trick works for flat items, things such as the bubble wrap paint that is back here. It can also be used on things like this rub-on, or also this kit has a scatter in it that's called an atomic, I called it atomic scatter. These kinds of things that are flat, more doodles, those are the kinds of things that this trick works best for. It can also be used for fonts to change up the color really easily in those as well. Okay, in Jenny's layout here, and for the pictures that she had, this green background worked perfectly with it, and you can see the bubble wrap colors. They start with red on one end and go to a golden yellow on the other end, and they show up really nicely on this layout. The colors all work together great. But let's suppose that for your pictures you needed a different color background, something like this yellow background. Now when you use this yellow background, now some of the bubble wrap is a little more difficult to see. I mean, we see the red parts up here, but we don't see the gold parts on the bottom. It kind of messes with the balance of the layout. So let's suppose that you wanted to change the color of one of these bubble wraps. This is one of the easiest ways to change the color. I'm going to begin by changing the color of this bubble wrap. To do that, I want to make sure that I have this bubble wrap layer selected. And then it's under Layer, New Fill Layer, Solid Color. When you click on that, the first dialog box that comes up is the new layer dialog box where you can give that layer a name. I usually ignore that and just go ahead and click on OK. That brings up the color picker box. This is just like the color picker that you are accustomed to working with. You can pick anywhere on the screen of what you see and it will change the color, as well as sliding this slider up and down. It gives you plenty of opportunities here to test out colors and see what you're looking for. You also have the option of choosing a color if you move off of the color picker dialog box and up into your swatches palette. The cursor becomes an eyedropper, and from there you can choose colors from a particular swatches palette. Or the same thing happens when you move your cursor over top of your layout. You still have that eyedropper, so you can pick a color that matches with an item that's already on your layout. For example, a dark blue similar to what's in this word art, Love You to the Moon and Back. I'm going to go ahead and select that one. Okay, the second part of changing the color here is to take that color fill layer and clip it to the bubble wrap layer below. We use the term clip. What we really want is for this color fill layer to only show where that is. There are a couple different ways to do that. One of them is to move your cursor over top of the line that separates the two, holding down the Alt key. When you hold down the Alt key and move your cursor over top of the line that separates the two, the cursor will change to indicate that it is going to clip the two together, and then you just need to click. And now that blue color shows up only where that bubble wrap was. Another way to clip the two together is to use your shortcut keys. Inside of Photoshop Elements, that would be Command or Control G. Inside of Photoshop, it's Command Alt G, and those two will group the two together. And that's it, a very simple way for you to add a different color to things. One of the reasons that I like to do it in this method is because it leaves the option open for me to go back and change the color later. I still have this icon here, and by double clicking on it, it'll bring the color picker back up again so that I can click on a different spot and change the color again and again until I find something that I like. Perhaps we would like more green in it instead. And that's the simple trick. Layer, New Fill Layer, Solid Color, and then clip the two together using Control G in Photoshop Elements or Control Alt G in Photoshop. If you've enjoyed this video, click on the like button below and go ahead and leave me a comment. If you have any questions, you can reach me at shells.creations1@gmail.com. See you next time.